Greetings, greetings, greetings to all of my loved ones. Welcome back to another episode of Healing Wisdom with me, your favorite, realest, sexiest spiritual advisor, Empress Oracle. So today, I'm going to talk to you guys about spiritual warfare because I know I mentioned it earlier, as today is the Lionsgate portal. So a lot of people, a lot of energies are at an all-time high, so there may be an elevation in spiritual attack, spiritual warfare going on right now. So I'm going to clarify for you guys some types of spiritual warfare and some ways that you can help to protect yourself from spiritual warfare and or spiritual attack. And on behalf of Starseed Galactic Federation, I have been given access to this knowledgeable information from my Akashic records for the purpose of helping humanity. This information has been given directly to me as a divine channel, and any use and or reproduction of this information without the proper acknowledgement or accreditation from where it was received will result in instant karma for the plagiarizing parties and or individuals. And so it is. Now, spiritual warfare is very real, and a lot of people who are not ascended, are not on a spiritual journey, or are unawakened, they really don't believe in spiritual warfare, but that is why they are getting their asses whooped in the spiritual realm. Most of the time, the people who tend to not believe in things like that are the ones who tend to suffer the most with spiritual warfare. Now, that does not leave us spiritual beings out of it. Everybody is susceptible to spiritual warfare, but more important than not, the more people who have a higher propensity towards spiritual attacks and or spiritual warfare are people who are aware of their purpose and have answered the call of God for their purpose. Then you become a target, because many are called, but few are chosen. Many are called, but few answer, because it's a scary and it's an intimidating thing. However, what is starting to happen nowadays is because so many people are denying the call from God, now they are being forced into their spiritual awakenings. Now they are being forced to accept their calling, because we really have no choice. We are in the last days. We're in the last days again, guys, right? So on top of having a spiritual awakening, a lot of people are also getting spiritually attacked or experiencing spiritual warfare, because you have the powers that be that want you to be your best and highest self, and then you have the powers that don't be that don't want you to fulfill your purpose. Because if everybody is on the same accord, then there we go, headed towards world peace. And now you cannot have good without bad, but the world would be a better place if everybody knew their lane and they stuck to it. So there are various types of spiritual warfare. Some types of spiritual warfare are dream stalking, right? Dream magic, sex magic. I feel like those are some of the heaviest types of spiritual warfare that people go through, because believe it or not, people feel as though spiritual warfare is only an internal thing that only happens with you individually. However, what you have to understand is a lot of times spiritual warfare comes from people who don't believe in God, or people who are of a darker nature, projecting their negativity and their ill will onto you. And a lot of the times people are resorting to, dark arts and black magic to try to stop people from achieving their highest purpose. And that is where spiritual warfare comes in. So as far as like dreamscaping is what I call it goes, I personally have experienced that form of spiritual warfare numerous of times. I have had many people who out in the open, they seem like, God-fearing Christian people, or sometimes they may not even be devout religious people outwardly, but behind closed doors, they like to work with black magic. And I have had those people shown to me in my dreams personally. And now, a lot of times you have to be aware in your dreams, whenever you see either a celebrity in your dream, 9 times out of 10, it's probably not that celebrity. 9 times out of 10, it is somebody who is proficient in the dark arts or black magic, disguising themselves as a celebrity that they know is in your genre. Like say you like rap, they might come as a rapper. Say you're into movies, they might come as a well-known actor or actress, you know, probably from the same demographics or culture as you. They're gonna come to your dream because they know you're unaware. So that's easier for them to come to you in your dreams and to glean information off of you. It's easier for them to disguise themselves, cloak who they really are in something, because who wouldn't want to meet a celebrity? So if you see a celebrity in your dream, you're going to be like, oh yeah, la, 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 la. So a lot of times, a lot of dark magicians will disguise themselves as either a celebrity, or if they know you had a loved one that may have been passed on, or a past relationship, they may try to disguise themselves as that person and come to you in your dreams, either to get information from you, find out personal information to harm you, or to actually harm you in your dreams. That is why it is very good for you to be grounded first and foremost. You have to be grounded in the physical world, in the 3D. And that way, when you go to sleep and you go to the higher realms and dimensions, you have clearer discernment, because there's always going to be something off. Whenever somebody is coming to you disguised as something or someone else in your dream, how you be able to tell that it is truly not that person or that energy, and it is a spiritual attack in disguise or spiritual warfare, is there's always going to be something off about them, something that doesn't quite align with the actual person in real life. So it's that's why you have to have that discernment, and you have to pay attention. And although it's hard, a lot of people say that they cannot control themselves in their dreams. When you start meditating, when you start grounding yourself, it helps you to focus more, to be in tune with your body, so that you're in tune with your intuition, because you do not have to be awake to be in tune with your intuition. So once you are aware of what is actually going on, you're able to wake yourself in your dream, say before you give them some information. You're able to turn them away in your dream, and you'll even actually be able to physically fight them off in your dreams, because also too, there are a lot of people who are punk ass bitches in real life, such as, you know, some people that I know, we're not gonna call no names, you know who you are, I know you watching me, who will try to actually physically attack you in your dreams. And that's why sometimes people don't even remember their dreams, but they'll wake up and they have scratches on them and stuff. That is spiritual warfare, because everything starts off in the higher realms and then it trickles down to the 3D, whether you want to believe it or not. Okay, so you have been enduring spiritual warfare in your sleep and you don't even realize it. That's why I said you have to ground, you have to drink water to purify yourself. Okay, purify your system. You can't just keep drinking coffee, beer, and wine. You have to drink the water. You have to go outside. You have to get grounded. You have to balance yourself in your chakras. You have to pray for discernment. You have to decalcify your third eye, which is your pineal gland right here, by having a healthy, balanced diet. And that helps you to be able to discern, not just when you're awake, but also in your dream state. Because a lot of times, you know, voodooists, dark magicians, warlocks, and shit like that, who like to wreak havoc on people's lives, they choose to attack people when they're asleep, because that's when your defenses are lowered, you're unaware. That's because they're pussies, right? Because anybody know, if you're trying to fight for real and you ain't no punk bitch, you're not going to wait till somebody is defenseless. But of course, when you're working for the dark side, there is no rules, right? Right. So that is a form of spiritual warfare. Another form of spiritual warfare is anytime you are doing something geared towards your purpose and or bettering yourself or your situation, and every time you take a step towards that, things fall apart. Say you're a content creator, and every time it's time for you to record, your equipment breaks. Every time you're recording, your video cuts off mid-record, your lights fall, right? Things break. That's spiritual warfare. There are people who either are watching you and they're projecting and sending negative energy and evil eye towards you, or they are actively doing black magic to try to bind you and stop you from fulfilling your purpose, because they see your greatness and they see the potential in whatever it is that you are trying to do. And that is why one of the best defenses against spiritual warfare is prayer. Prayer. You don't have to be a devout Christian to pray. You do not. If you are spiritual in any way, shape, or form, which means if you are aware that there is a source outside of yourself, a higher source outside of yourself, right? That you owe life to, that makes shit shake and move. then it's important for you to pray. You have to talk to your angels. You have to talk to your ancestors. You have to talk to your spirit guides. You have to talk to your orishas, whatever it is that you believe in, because as far as I'm concerned, it's same shit, different toilet. All of these things are intertwined because first and foremost, zero God, no higher. I don't know if y'all ever heard that saying before, but when I was young, we used to say zero God, no higher. And the reason is because God is the creator of all, both high and low, good and bad. You cannot have light without dark. That's where balance comes in. However, when you pray for protection from things that the natural eyes cannot see, you'll be made more aware whenever you are under spiritual attack. That's why you have to listen to your discernment. You have to listen to your intuition. You have to know the difference between your intuition and your ego, which I have a video about, and that will help you to discern when you actually are under spiritual attack. Sometimes we go through spiritual warfare and it is all manifested within ourselves from ourselves. That in itself is a form of spiritual warfare, because when you are, what's the word? Self-sabotaging yourself, 9 times out of 10, somebody is projecting negativity to you. And then once they project that negativity to you, those negative thoughts, if you're not properly spiritually protected, then you're going to take on those thoughts and that negative energy, and you're going to feel as though it is you. You're going to think it's your own thoughts, and then you're going to end up self-sabotaging yourself. Whenever you hear negative self-talk within yourself, within your head, and it just came out of nowhere, that is a spiritual attack. That is another form of spiritual warfare. When these random negative thoughts pop into your head whenever you're about to do something that you know is for your highest good, that's spiritual warfare. Somebody is projecting these negative thoughts to you. Those are not your own thoughts. That's why first and foremost, it is very important also to know your own energy. And how do you know your own energy? By spending time by yourself. Certain parts of your spiritual journey have to be done alone. I rebuke all monitoring spirits. All of a sudden these gnats came, but by the blood of Jesus, can't nobody stop me. I'm putting this message out because there are people who need to know when they're going through spiritual warfare. Okay, but these self-limiting thoughts that you have, that they just come out of nowhere, especially whenever you're thinking about doing something that you know is for your highest good, that's spiritual warfare. How you can deal with that is by talking to yourself. That's why it's important to say positive affirmations. Get in the mirror. That's a form of mirror magic as well. Also, talking to yourself in the mirror and telling yourself in the affirmative, you can, yes you can, yes you are. Whenever that will help to combat the spiritual warfare that's going on in your head first and foremost. Because the same way, if somebody keeps telling you something over and over and over again, eventually you start believing it. If you are under spiritual attack and people are projecting negative thoughts, if people are casting word spells, putting out negative word spells and negative energy to the universe to you, they're putting that out. That's spells. That's going to come to you. So if you're not aware, if you're not divinely protected, if you're not have your discernment, and if you're not giving yourself positive affirmations and positive self-talk, you're going to start believing it. Even if you don't say it out loud, if you continuously think in those negative thoughts, you're going to start believing it. And whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Remember that. That's why it's important for you to protect yourself. Also, too, another form of spiritual warfare that I see going on is with food. And a lot of people do not realize that. The media is trying to push all these processed foods and all these foods that will lower your vibration. And that in itself makes you more susceptible to spiritual attacks and spiritual warfare also. Okay, red meat is not good for you. It does not digest. It stays in your body. And also too, what you have to understand, whatever you ingest in your body, whatever animal you're ingesting in your body, if it died in a cruel way, you're gonna ingest that energy and stuff, and that right there can have you start doing spiritual warfare within yourself and your body. Your organs gonna start fighting each other. That's when you start gaining weight and everything, and then that lowers your vibration and makes you more susceptible to spiritual attacks. Whenever, sometimes intuitively, we may be going under spiritual attack, we may be under spiritual warfare, we may not realize it, but our body will be trying to tell us. That's why it's important for you to listen to your body. Whenever you have a chakra that's out of line or unbalanced, your body's going to tell you what it is you need. Pay attention to the things whenever you crave certain foods. How you also know if you're undergoing spiritual warfare, you're under spiritual attack, is if you know that you eat a certain way, if you know you live a healthy lifestyle, a routine lifestyle, and then all of a sudden you start craving things that are going to lower your vibration, you're under spiritual attack. Somebody sees you on that path. Somebody sees you taking care of yourself. Somebody sees your light shining brighter. Somebody sees your vibration getting brighter. Your light is irritating somebody's demons, and then now they're projecting onto you. All of a sudden, you craving burgers, you don't even eat meat. All of a sudden, you craving fried chicken, you don't even like fried chicken. All of a sudden, you craving things that you know that you don't normally eat. That is somebody sending you a spiritual attack, okay? Because once you start consuming those things, each time you consume those things, it blocks you and it lowers your vibration. It starts blocking your chakras. And once your vibration gets low enough, then the enemy can attack you. Then the demons can attack you. Then spiritual warfare, then they could go in there and they could act like they in fucking 300 and shit. Just cut you down, bitch. That's why you have to be aware. So whenever all of a sudden, if all of a sudden you start craving cherries, if all of a sudden you start craving apples, 9 times out of 10, you may have some crown chakra, some heart chakra, whatever the fuck chakra blockages. I forgot what colors I said before, but y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. If it's blue, all of a sudden you craving blueberries, you may have some crown chakra blockages, or your crown chakra may not be in alignment. Therefore, you need to listen to yourself and go ahead and get you some blueberries, because if somebody's trying to block your crown chakra, that's going to mess up your intuition. That's going to mess up your discernment. And then next thing you know, you may walk into some type of trap and you might not even realize it because your third eye is blocked. Your crown chakra is blocked. So therefore, you're unable to receive messages from the divine, from source. And that's exactly what the enemy wants. And you never know. Sometimes it's the little things that count. That message you might miss might be the difference between life or death. That one intuitive nudge that you need could be the difference between life and death. That's why it's important to aid and combat against spiritual warfare. You have to have a healthy diet. It's not optional. If somebody tells you that they're spiritual and that they're ascended, and you see them at Taco Bell, Burger King, all they eat is fast food all the time, they may be a dark magician. I'm just saying, they may be. Because high vibrational people eat high vibrational things. I'm not saying you can't treat yourself, but you are what you eat. So if you're eating bullshit, you're probably bullshit as well. It's very important. Now in the media, we see them pushing a lot of processed foods and stuff. Those things have certain chemicals in there that they put in there that they may have fluoride in it. And what does fluoride do? It calcifies your pineal gland, which is right here. That's your third eye. You cannot have proper discernment. You will not properly be able to heed or listen or even recognize intuitive nudges if your third eye is blocked. And a lot of these foods that they have out here nowadays, it looks so delicious, don't it? It's all a part of the plan to keep people asleep, because knowledge is power. And the more that people ascend and they realize their true callings and their true purpose, the more, you know what I'm saying, the powers that's been being, it will lose their power. So you have to heed that. Be careful. Food is one of the main things that the dark forces use to aid them in spiritual warfare. Another thing also too, how you can know if you are under spiritual attack, is if you sleep with somebody and you contract a STD. And I don't mean a sexually transmitted disease, I mean a sexually transmitted demon. You will know if you sleep with somebody and after you sleep with them, they're energized and you're drained. And then after, because this has happened to me before, I've been under spiritual attack. I remember one time I told a story about it, STDs, where I slept with somebody who had spiritual demons, okay? And then they latched onto me and I was under spiritual attack for it was a long night. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And how you know that is because after that, you'll be restless. You won't be able to get a good night's sleep. Right? And then your lower chakras will be out of balance, and you'll know that you may experience stomach aches, you may experience cramping and stuff like that. Your body is going through a spiritual attack. That's why it's good to have discernment, and that's why it's also good not to be a hoe. This is not the day and age to be out there popping pussy for everybody, because people got demons, bro. They have demons. You have to be aware of that. Another way that you can tell if you're under spiritual attack is whenever you do try to go to sleep, you're constantly awoken between the hours of 1 and 5 a.m. because those are the witching hours. And those tend to be the hours that people who like to do black magic and the dark arts, that's when they like to be doing their shadiddly, because they like to move in the dark. So you have to be aware of that. If you're constantly being awoken at those times, 9 times out of 10, you're being under spiritual attack. The best thing to do during those times when you wake up is to pray. Also, too, if you have some Florida water, sprinkle that bitch around. Use some salt to protect around where you sleep in, form a protective circle. Pray. Ask Archangel Michael to pray. Talk to whoever it is you believe in. God, your archangels, your orishas, same shit, different toilet. But to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Okay, there are many, many forms of spiritual warfare. Also, too, I think I said this, but a lot of times people also will try to come and attack you in your dreams. That is a major, major, major form of spiritual warfare, spiritual attack that a lot of people don't talk about because they don't even realize it. Half the time people think they're having wet dreams, but no, really somebody sent you a succubus or incubus spirit to attack you in your most weakened state, which is when you're asleep. People tend to try to attack you spiritually the most when you are asleep because you're not aware. Your defenses are down and you're not able to protect yourself. So somebody who's proficient in the dark arts, they may disguise themselves. They may cloak themselves as one of your favorite celebrities, a past loved one, a former boyfriend or girlfriend if they know about them. And they'll try to come to you in your dreams to either sleep with you and take your energy, or to attack you in your dreams, which is why a lot of times people will wake up with scratches all over their body and they don't realize why. They'll try to tap into your Akashic records in your sleep and find out information to either use against you or to steal your gifts. And people, as crazy as it sounds, it's real and it is true. And that is why it is very important for you to eat properly, drink your water, stay balanced and grounded so that you are aware. Because how you will know if you are spiritually aligned properly is you will have more clarity in your dreams and you will start to remember your dreams. And therefore that will aid in your defense while you are asleep. Because everything happens in the higher dimensions and then it trickles down to the 3D. So somebody will attack you in your dream state first. Okay? And they will do the worst parts of the damage in your dream state, attack you mentally, emotionally, and everything else. And then in the 3D, you will start noticing things falling apart. Pay attention to that. It's very important also, too, how you can tell, because sometimes you'll have weird dreams and you won't even realize it's spiritual warfare. That's why it's important for you to write down your dreams, and then you go back and you reference it, and then you will have clues in there, and you might realize you were experiencing some spiritual warfare in your dream state. See, confirmation from the little kitty cat. But anywho, I think I've talked long enough, and I know I have people who practice the dark arts that do watch me, so I don't want to say too much. However, those are just some ways to know if you are experiencing a spiritual attack or spiritual warfare. Be mindful of what you do. Be mindful of who you are around. Make sure you always protect your light and your energy. Keep your vibration high. The lower your vibration is, the more susceptible you are to spiritual attacks and spiritual warfare. And the greater your purpose is, the more susceptible you are to spiritual attacks and spiritual warfare. And the only person who knows how big of a purpose you have is you and God. Period. But however, people will see your light. A lot of times people see your calling on you. They see your purpose on you before you do. And therefore, because they tend to be cowards, they will try to work behind the scenes to take that from you because they want it for themselves. That's why it's good to be aware. If you need help with your spiritual protection, that's what crystals are for. I have an Etsy shop, Empress Oracle Shop. I also do custom orders for anything, man, woman, child, or beast. I have you. It's good to protect yourself. I have butters, oils, and always make sure that you cleanse your energy, especially whenever you feel as though you're under a spiritual attack. The quickest, simplest thing you can do is a salt bath, right? Get you some sea salt, rinse yourself off, return that negative energy to sender, return it to the universe, whatever the fuck you want to do, just return that shit. Don't claim it. And also, anytime you have those intrusive thoughts, know that they're not yours. If you know you're thinking for the best and you're moving towards the best of you, and all of a sudden in your head all you hear is no I can't, no I can't, no I can't, that is a spiritual attack. You are under spiritual warfare. So it's up to you. That's why your positive affirmations are important as well. Look, I done got off the topic. Yeah, your positive affirmations are important as well, because that helps you to build your own mental defense against spiritual attacks, spiritual warfare. That is how you know you are under spiritual attack. All those negative thoughts, they're not yours. Those are projections sent from somebody to try to hold you back. But yeah, check me out on Etsy, y'all. I'm gonna go now. Okay? Check me out on Etsy at Empress Oracle Shop. And I hope you enjoyed this. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to leave them below. If you like this video, if it helped you out, don't be a hater. Go ahead and share that shit. I love you all and have a wonderful day.